something. This is SOUQ Business Landscape. Hello, good morning, and welcome to your regular dose of early morning programming. This is SBL, SOUQ Business Landscape. This is where we talk not just governance, we talk business as it affects me, you as it affects conglomerates. We tell you policies that are shaping global endeavors, where the money is coming from, where the money is moving to, who is making it, who is also losing it. We create opportunities by telling and discussing who is in the market. It's all about SOUQ Business Landscape. Where is development at? Where is the money? You need to be here, not just be here, not just watching, but also part of the communication. So, hey, hit us up. Go to every social media platform and seek out SOUQ News TV. Let your voice be heard. My name is SOUQ, John Rogers SOUQ, and it's a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. We are going to discuss some major issues that has been in the news. From governance, Nigeria is looking at complete taking away paperwork from every part of the civil service. Digitizing, yes, we'll say yes. Dangote is also in the news. People are saying we are going on strike because somebody else's business are making policies that affect their own way of life. A whole lot is happening, and we will talk about it. I'm not alone on this table, so Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome on this beautiful Monday morning the knight himself. Olumide, good morning.
Good morning, SOUQ John Rogers. Good morning, Olumide Shokoya. They say if Monday doesn't excite you, start a new job. So I'm glad to be here. Let's talk business, economy, and of course, development. Okay, good. So we will go on a very short break. We'll have a guest in our midst. When we return from the break, we introduce our guest and we'll hit the story. Don't go anywhere. This is where you're supposed to be.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Ministries said it's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff? Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is SOUQ Business Landscape. Welcome back. It's still SBL. Joining us on this beautiful Monday morning is no other but a public policy advocate and analyst, Mr. Amin Oyedamola. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
What's happening with the blue today? Everybody's looking like we are just there.
Right.
It's nice having you.
Thank you very much. I'm
Good.
happy to be here.
Good. So we'll read our first story and we are on it. So hey, listen up. Now, for those that are wondering, this is coming directly from the office of the major leaders of our economy and the country. Now, governance, FG targets full digital civil service, digitalized civil service by the end of 2025. The federal government has announced plans to fully digitize Nigeria's civil service by the end of 2025, that is this year, making a major step towards paperless governance. Under the renewed hope agenda, the reform will be driven through the OneGov Cloud platform managed by the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. The initiative aims to eliminate bureaucratic bottlenecks, cut costs linked to printing and file storage, and strengthen data sovereignty in line with global digital governance standards. Officials say the project will also enhance transparency and accountability across ministries, departments, and agencies, ensuring faster, more efficient public service delivery. Beyond ongoing economic reforms, President Bola Tinubu's administration has positioned digital governance as a priority, pledging that the overhaul will usher in a new era of service delivery and improved citizen engagement. Okay, now, for a very long time, as long as we can remember, we just know files were moving from one table to the next.
And offices were burning.
And, and offices were burning. Well, I did not add that. He did. But that came from a good source. And we also have seen where government had to employ clerks whose jobs were just to make sure that that file was moving. And we also had to see cases where government duty sometimes stops at a table and you can't find where the file is. What is the issue? Oga will never see the file. But now, from this particular transformation, this particular going full digital, let me start with you. I mean, do you see us completely turning a new leaf? Is it a character, is it behavioral, or it's just something that is going to take out this unscrupulous element away from the system?
This is a very beautiful initiative. I hope this is not another talk shop. Right, Nigeria we don't like good ideas or good initiatives. We've always had good initiatives. The problem is in the implementation. And when we are looking at the implementation, we need to look at the technical know-how of our people. We are still very, very behind when it comes to the use of computer literacy and all of this new technology. We are still way behind. So it's not enough to bring this kind of initiative. We need to look at how do we retrain and train our civil servants, because these are the people that are supposed to implement this initiative. So if you bring this beautiful initiative and the people that are meant to implement it cannot implement it, it's just another one for the headline. It's just another one for, for us to talk about and to excite our people without really doing what we need to do. So side by side, this kind of initiative, I want to see how government wants to train and retrain civil servants and implement in our curriculum. In countries like UAE now, pupils are being trained AI from ages of 6, 7, 8. So we need to do that too, so that the next set of people coming into the civil service have this technical know-how to be able to fully implement this beautiful initiative.
Okay, coming from the point of implementation, which is where he stepped on, let's move forward. Now we have NITDA. Government is also a government agency. Their major job is to implement government information technology policy and coordinate general information, technology development in the country. Now we see both the ministry and some other agencies. How do we get this synergy to make sure this training happens? And make sure that, because when things are going bad, it's to the benefit of some people.
We cannot talk about training without also looking at language barrier.
Okay.
Now, how do we incorporate language barrier or language? Because maybe in Lagos, ministries, they all speak English, and you understand what the computer is based. And most computers, except you want to like reformat it or get a tech person to change the language, it's mostly written in English. If you go to other states, I'm not trying to shade other states like Oyo and the rest of them, in civil service, it's Yoruba they speak. So
the federal civil service or state civil service?
I'm talking about state.
Okay.
Do you understand? So we also have to look at the language. And in other parts, in other geopolitical zones, we have to look at how can we now incorporate language so that they understand what the computer... Now, also, what is the requirement for civil service? Is it a university degree or is it...
It depends on the level.
It depends on the level.
Your
so
level.
what I'm going to is that most of these people, as at the time they were in school, they were not opportune to have a computer or to have been taught with a computer.
After how many years?
Okay, fine. They can now, after school, after university, they can now engage in service. But that is those who want that change, because change sometimes can be seen as an enemy. So in training people, are they also willing to learn? Because, the older you get, they say that your brain slowly assimilates and all that. But that's not a shade entirely. But in order for us to be able to run this synergy, the civil servants themselves must be willing, just like you said, it benefits. Now, if you go to any ministry and you want to just submit a file, you know how you grease some palms. They will tell you your file, they can't find your file. And you have to say, I beg now, what's going to me do? And they will say, don't worry, come next week, I would. They'll make it seem as if they are going to do something very hard for you, and you will feel indebted to want to, grease their palms. So,
have you crossed that route before?
I don't want to even say it right here, but it's a necessary thing. I remember there was a particular institution, a government institution, I wanted to access a particular document, and I know how much my uncle had to, let go for that to happen. So while it benefits some, it might not benefit some. But one of the things I'm glad this will take care of is ghost workers and all that. If we are fully able to digitize the civil service, it will take care of job racketeering, ghost workers, and the rest of them, because it is in that civil. Some people are abroad, living, enjoying themselves, and still collecting something. I know, I think 2 years ago or last year, there was this scandal with the FAC, I can't remember them, and there was a job racketeering and all that came out. And even President Tinubu has always been vocal on that. So I hope, one of the things we have here in Nigeria is we implement 50%, we don't implement 100%. So if we can implement 100%, it will take care of a whole lot of things. But education, digital literacy is the key, because how many of them can actually?
Yes, they can. If government is employing you, that should be a requirement. If this is where the government is going to, that should be a requirement.
That is why I asked initially, what's the requirement when applying for civil service? Because if that was incorporated at the very beginning, we won't be here.
Okay. Now let's get back to you. I mean, if we say this is the route we are going and we are running this way, don't you see people losing jobs?
I disagree. You see, the digital economy is very, very robust.
I'm talking about civil servants.
Those who don't qualify.
Not other people. Civil servants. If nobody is moving files anymore and paper is not going up and down, that is somebody's job to move that file. That is somebody's job to lock down the numbers of that file. Now, who is going to, if they have no jobs anymore, don't you think that they somehow will become redundant?
In life, improvement is a given. Everybody at every particular time have to improve themselves. So even without the government introducing a new policy, it is our duty as a people, if we see that if there's a new technology that is bigger than phone and we need it to communicate, nobody asked us to go learn how to use a phone. So we have to improve ourselves. It is very bad if there's anybody drawing salary from the federal government or any place without computer literacy. It is very bad. The person does not deserve the job. So we need to improve ourselves. And the digital economy is so big. So while we are going into this, there are computer programmers that are going to be building applications that are tailor-made for our problems, to solve our problems. So a lot of people are going to be employed. There are going to be data centers. People are going to be working in the data centers. There are going to be technicians that are going to be running cables, running internet. If we are going full digital, there has to be an uninterrupted internet that connects all the ministries together so that everybody can see what's going on in real time. That's the whole advantage of the digitalization. Okay,
let me stop you now. You just mentioned something that could have question marks on them. Now, if we're saying we are doing it, going digital, and we have to connect, that shows a level of transparency. Yes. That brings this question. Now, NITDA has its own kettle of fish to fry. How do we protect government data?
Government data are going to be protected by professionals. But let me put a caveat that the strongest economy of the country in the world, America, often have some of their data compromised. So, and while you put in place the strongest mechanism to protect your data, some people's job are to try to infiltrate it. And then you come up with stronger solutions. Just like we say with our files too. Sometimes when people have done something wrong, they go ahead to burn, the gentleman across the table said, they burn where the archive. And then we have to find stronger way to protect our files, like fireproof saves, fireproof archives. So, you know, there will always be problems, and it is our job to try to improve in solutions to solve these problems.
Okay, so right now, fire can't work because those particular data is in the cloud.
Yeah.
So you burn all you want. The data is there. So protecting that data is,
of course,
is key. Okay, let me get to you. Now, we are saying government needs to cut down on costs of running government. And this is one particular means they've pushed forward.
Yes.
To what extent are they going to cost that cost within the civil service going this route?
They will cut costs, but at the expense of some people's jobs, like you mentioned, because if two people are used to doing something and you can have that done, for instance, you don't have to go to the passport office, you don't have to do some certain tax clearance, you can do it from the comfort of your home. That's one person's job taken out, and that saves cost. So the government have to weigh this, they have to weigh the pros and the cons of it. Do they really want to save cost at the expense of some people losing their jobs? Just like you said, someone, when you go to the ministry, someone takes down your file, takes your document, you sign, and he takes that particular document to different offices. So now, when we digitalize, all we have to do is, once you don't even need to go to the ministry or any federal ministry or state ministry. You can do it from the comfort of your home, and it sends it directly to the office that it needs to be sent, which means that person that's supposed, the office assistant or whoever it is, might lose his job, thereby saving cost. They will also save cost of paper. So it's dicey, but it's a way forward. If we truly want to get where we're going, e-governance is the way. If we truly want that digital economy, if you want that $1 trillion economy, if you want that, if you want federal government or state government to cut down. Now, I would advise that this should be done in phases, not full implementation, to test and see.
But they've been touting this particular policy for over a long period of time.
Yes, it has been there for a while. So what I'm saying is maybe they could start with a particular ministry or key ministries to see how it works.
Ministry of Finance.
Ministry of Finance, maybe Ministry of Lands or something. Start or just pick a particular ministry first, maybe Ministry of Finance, because it's a very sensitive sector. Start with that. Let's see how we can curb a whole lot of things. Now, that would also bring into the fore tracking of payment. You can actually track certain, because if you go to a ministry, you pay for something, they can easily tear that receipt and the record is gone. But once you pay online,
they don't tear receipts. The file just gets missing.
Okay, fine. So once you pay online, it goes directly to the office needed, and that is it. The record is there. And since they are making use of the OneGov cloud, beautiful, fantastic. Transparency is effortless delivery.
Okay, while you are looking at effortless delivery, let's look at time. Time spent on government businesses, government dealings. With this particular route we are taking, how much of that time are we going to reduce, and how fast is running government going to be?
It's going to be very, very fast. I don't agree with implementation in phases, because Nigeria is not an isolated country. Nigeria is part of a global ecosystem. So if the countries that we want to be like, if they are running at 100 kilometers per hour, we cannot be running at 20. If not, we keep losing our best brains to these economies. Our people need to wake up and start operating at the global level. We need to encourage our people to start operating at the global level. Because now what we see is our best brains, they are leaving these shores to go be part of the bigger economy. So all of this efficiency, when we save money, when government save money, is not for keeps in the bank. The major problem of Nigeria, apart from corruption, is a revenue problem. Our budget is $35 billion for the whole country, for the whole year. New York's budget, a state in America, is almost $300 billion. JFK Airport this year is being renovated for almost $35 billion. And that's not the only airport in New York. It's just one airport. And this is not new building. This is renovation. So if we save money, money will be able to put into good use. We are a poor country, so we need to be more efficient, get things done faster, save money so that we can invest in infrastructure and things that will benefit the greater good. Government's job is to make policy for the greater number of people. So we need to save all of the money that we need that can be put into good use for the public.
Okay, while you are saving this money, let's now bring it this way. If this is government policy, how can we get this policy to trickle down to states? You were talking about language barrier when it comes to access to the system, computer systems.
Yes.
How can we get this particular policy to trickle around the states?
Training, massive training. It has to. It could start from the local government upwards. They need massive training. That's why they will not have to partner with, the private sector. Bring in some tech experts. Bring in some gurus that would train them on basic applications, how to even use and maintain the computer, because it's not just being able to access, but maintaining the software, maintaining the system also matters. How well to protect data. They might have to, just like you said, create data centers. They might have to employ other consultants or people, experts outside to be able to help them. If it's going to be a cloud service, it's prone to hacking. So they have to figure a way out to make that hack-proof. Yes, even in the US, they hack. I mean, Apple iCloud, they hacked it at a point in time. So no particular system is hack-proof, or how you might put it. So they have to, first of all, try and train people, try and train them. If we had gone the route of China, China, they are far vast in technology. And one of the things they did was to do it in their language. So imagine if we could teach computer in Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Efik, or any
But
other.
the languages are there in the system.
They are there in the system. But are the people ready to access it? Because that's another thing. In training them, do they also want to learn? Because these are people, they've been doing things in the ministry for 20 years, 30 years, and you're bringing something, that might favor them or not favor them. That's another issue there. So, but training, they have to constantly train them. Maybe it could be for a month, train them and see how it goes.
Take Nigeria, because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Ministries said is going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff? Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is SOUQ Business Landscape.